Hi guys, can you hear me?
Hi. Okay, so we are ready. So welcome everyone. This is the Kyoko AMA on Twitter Spaces with Lindsay, Chief Marketing Officer, and Steve, Head of IR and BD from Kyoko team. Welcome and thank you for taking the time to join us today. I will have some few questions for Lindsay and Steve directly, and then we'll open the chat for a few community questions. We know that you are an anonymous team, but can you tell us a little bit more about yourselves?
Yeah, I can take over this one. It might be best if we just go question by question here, splitting it up, Lindsay. So I'll start off with a little bit about myself. I come from a traditional finance background. I graduated with a degree in finance, worked in commercial banks and hedge funds, and then around 2017, the hedge fund that I was working for at the time, this was when the industry was caught up in the craze of IDOs, right? And every other day you were hearing about the next big, $10 million, $20 million ICO raise. And so we decided to spin off, enter the space, and we started a crypto investment bank. And then we transitioned from, helping companies go through their ICO, do road shows, all that sort of growth marketing and promotional stuff, transitioned over into a ratings platform. And this was because, we saw that there was so much opportunity in the space, but there were so many scammers and so many fake coins that were being introduced to the space that we wanted to put together sort of a crunch base, if you will, for the crypto space. And so I stuck with them for a couple of years, then ended up moving over to Hong Kong to work in a traditional asset management startup. And during that time, really just couldn't keep my hands away from crypto, right? All of the energy, all of the pace in the space. It's addictive. And so I put together my own startup that helped provide crypto growth marketing services. And about the middle of last year, I ran into the founding team over at Kyoko. And really loved the vision they were pitching. I ended up joining the team as head of IR and BD. And then for Lindsay, she has a similar story as myself. She also joined the crypto sphere in 2017, although she's actually been working more on the project side, whereas I've always been sort of on the servicer side. And actually, it was funny. We were when we got together over at Kyoko, we connected and realized that we had run into each other at a couple of crypto conferences over the years ever since, and we're just sort of laughing at how we came back full circle and really how small the crypto sphere can be. And that's something that's always been, tried and tested over for me. And I always see the same faces, hear the same names, and it's very easy to find your own community over in crypto, which again is one of the reasons why I love this space so much. But anyway, so that's a little bit about myself and Lindsay as well.
Okay, it's a big and a small world at the same time. Can you tell us a little bit about the vision and behind Kyoko and why you are launching it?
Okay, sure. So we all know that last year DAOs and GameFi guilds have a great development with the development of Web3 and GameFi industry. And each day there will have some new organizations, which is great potential, but may lack of resources to grow at the early stage. And also for DAOs and guilds, they may suffer the lack of liquidation to develop themselves. Both of them will have underscored a strong demand for blockchain-based credit. And that is why Kyoko come here, and also why the story come from. And also I could say a little introduction about Kyoko itself. So why we call us Kyoko? Kyoko is actually a name of Japanese girl, which this girl is shown on our website, and she was born in the Metaverse and belong to the Metaverse. Kyoko just doesn't belong to just one project. Rather than that, she will be a guide for all Metaverse players to explore the crypto world. And also, Kyoko aims to address the biggest problem challenging her Multiverse. She's working on the protocol that bridges in-game assets across different blockchains and also provide liquidity to high potential DAOs within GameFi universe. In the future, Kyoko also plan to create her own metaverse that brings game, guilds, DAOs, and players together across the world.
Yeah, and I'll actually hop in here and follow up on what Lindsay was saying. So, Lindsay just mentioned how we do provide credit for DAOs and how our core is at GameFi, and that's actually because Kyoko started off as a GameFi service provider. When we say DAOs, we were talking about GameFi guilds. We're talking about sort of addressing these deep core challenges that face this, multi-billion-dollar industry. But then we started thinking, what is a guild, right? And at its core, it's a DAO. And so if we can take the same needs for credit and financing that guilds face within the specific GuildFi or GameFi industry, there are all these different DAOs out there in the broader Web3 industry as well that have the same sort of needs. And so, we started getting really excited about this idea of not just being a, liquidity provider over to the GameFi industry, but thinking a little bit larger, thinking a little bit broader. And so that's exactly where we are now. Obviously, we still have our main core services that are based in addressing those huge challenges for GameFi. But we're also trying to really pursue and help enable the development of the future of the internet through Web3.
Yeah. And I know you already talked a little bit about yourselves, but we would like to know a little bit more about the team. How is your experience? How did your experience lead you here?
Yeah, absolutely. And I can take over that one as well. So we are an Anon team. One of the questions that we get asked most frequently is, why is that? And I'll give you a little bit of background first about the team. We've been very careful to build a team that will be able to deliver the Kyoko vision, because obviously what we're doing between our DAO-to-DAO lending, between our P2P NFT lending platform and our cross-chain asset lending platform, it's very expansive. There's a lot of opportunity, but there's also a lot of expertise that goes into actually being able to build these services, to build these solutions, right? So we do have a team of about 15 people now, 13 of which are tech team. They're based out of Singapore, and they're just absolute development wizards. I mean, they've been working in smart contract development and security auditing companies for years. Our founding team, they come from a straight tech background, and they have 10 plus years in the industry, all the way down to our most junior security team member, development team member, has 5 years. So, I mean, they are all incredibly skilled at what they do. Lindsay and I are the only non-techies. We do head up BD. Lindsay focuses more on the partnership side. And again, I'm more on the IR and traditional BD side. And so, but getting back to sort of the core of the question, we have all been in crypto from pretty early on, and we truly believe in the original tenets of crypto. That is, there's huge possibility and huge potential offered up by the industry, but we really do believe in the pseudonymous nature of crypto. And ultimately, we didn't actually start off as an Anon team, but we did end up turning down that route because we just wanted the conversation to be about Kyoko, about the solution that Kyoko can provide, and not about us as individuals or what sort of skills we contribute, because we're confident in our ability to deliver. We worked very hard to put this amazing team together, and we just want to focus the conversation around the solutions that we're providing here and let our work do the talking for itself.
Okay, great. So let's move to Kyoko again. What is your competitive advantage? So what differs you from other similar projects?
Okay, I will take over this question. So Kyoko is actually first mover and in the DAO-to-DAO lending business and cross-chain asset lending market. So the whole team is monthly ahead of schedule on its product release and moving fast to maintain the market advantages. And also, we believe that DAO-to-DAO lending have the great opportunities as well as cross-chain game asset lending. There is a huge potential and opportunity for them, and there is where the true future lies. And for our P2P NFT lending business, so Kyoko also have some innovation compared with our competitors. So maybe like for example, Arcade and NFT they could consider to be two of our competitors in P2P NFT lending, but neither of them their platform offers some liquidation protection, which may leave the users have the risk of default situation. But Kyoko is different. We provide the peer-to-peer model solutions. So the lender and borrower they could negotiate on the chat channel provided by Kyoko, and they could set the lending requirement together. If they have default situation, the NFT would be liquidated and directly transferred to the lender. So the Kyoko platform won't set any NFT price for any NFT, so it won't influenced by the NFT market price, as well as the default situation will be only focused on NFT itself. It's actually an innovation, and this is just one example of many innovations that Kyoko has included in our solution to improve our users' experience.
Yeah, and if I can just follow up really quickly on that as well, we have a saying internally that we like to put out there that we're inventors, and when we can't invent, we innovate. And what Lindsay was just describing perfectly reflects that, I think. DAO-to-DAO lending, we're the first mover in the space. Cross-chain asset lending, we're the first mover in the space, and these are huge solutions. But even when we're not the first mover in the space, for example, P2P NFT lending, we like to innovate. And what that means is just from beginning to end, a better user experience and a safer transactional experience for all of our Kyoko users.
Okay, and can you tell our community a little bit more about the Kyoko token utility?
Yeah, I'll take this one over. And then if I miss anything, Lindsay, you can follow up here. But Kyoko tokens are main governance token of the Kyoko ecosystem, and with it, it uh, puts with it voting, mining, staking, and the opportunity for other sort of ecosystem rewards. And I won't go through all of them. I think most of them are pretty self-explanatory. But for example, voting is pretty interesting over with the Kyoko token. So as Lindsay mentioned, we are a sort of transactional platform, right? And so with that, there are platform fees that we'll be collecting for anyone who uses it. And these platform fees will then be subject to revenue distribution that can then be voted on according to the holders of the Kyoko token. And then alongside that, for our DAO-to-DAO loans, we do hit different size DAOs with different services within our DAO-to-DAO lending. And so, for example, larger guilds, let's take them as an example. They'll be able to come over to Kyoko and they'll be able to get uncollateralized as well as collateralized lending. Credit, that is. And the holders of the Kyoko tokens will then be able to go ahead and they'll be able to vote on the eligibility of these DAOs to obtain credit loans. Now, for these smaller DAOs, think small startup guilds with huge potential, they'll also be able to access this sort of credit services, but will also act as sort of an incubator in the traditional respect of it, where we'll provide them not only with the financial liquidity that they need to be able to grow operations, but also the advising, also the introductions to different industry players that'll help smooth their growth progress along. and our Kyoko token holders will be able to vote on the DAOs that are eligible to enter into our sort of credit loan and incubator service program.
Yes,
Awesome.
okay, so I just want to jump in here. So among all the things that Steve already had said, I think the most interesting part is the burners part. And I think the users could look through our white books to get more information. So Kyoko tokens will have the burners. So maybe in the future, after those kind of smaller guilds or DAOs, they develop themselves, they grow up, there could have some airdrop for Kyoko token holder. So that is also an innovation, and it's also the most interesting part, I think, for the Kyoko use. Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's a great extra point there, Lindsay. Thanks for that. And I think everyone who's on this call probably appreciates the value of early access to airdrops, right?
Yes.
Thank you for this very good explanation. We'd love to hear a little bit more about your upcoming roadmap. So what key features are you developing right now?
Okay, so for our DAO-to-DAO lending and P2P NFT lending, they have already launched in March, and right now they're in the beta stage. I think after our IDO, there could be live. And also about our cross-chain 𝗖𝗍 lending, the plan is they will be launched in Q3 this year. That is the introduction about our upcoming roadmap.
Yeah, and I think the just sort of building upon that and looking at it a little bit more broadly as well. We actually started Kyoko with a fairly ambitious roadmap. You know, we started development in way back in March 2021. So we do have actually we just hit our 1 year anniversary, I suppose. And we were going around to different investors and we were talking about our ambitious plans for the vision of Kyoko development, and put together an original roadmap. And we've just been blowing through it much more quickly than we anticipated. And it's something that we're really excited about. And on that note, for anyone on this call, anyone who wants to go ahead and test out our different platforms can, with the exception of cross-chain asset lending, that'll go into testnet in the next month or two. But go over to Kyoko.finance and test out our products. See the Kyoko experience for yourself, and we'd really appreciate any and all feedback that you can provide us as well, so that we can again continue to help make this the best experience that we can.
Yeah, and everyone make sure to follow Kyoko Twitter and Medium channels to keep up to date with their progress and their latest news. So thank you, Steven. Thank you, Lindsay. I'm going to open the chat for some questions here. I don't remember who raised their hands first, so I'm just going to randomly select users to ask their questions. So are you ready?
Let's do it.
What is the purpose of creating base token? Kindly explain briefly what will be the advantage of base holders, and can user mine unlimited number of KBT token?
Oh, are you asking what the functionality of the ecosystem token is, and if our tokens will be able to be? Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So as we just sort of mentioned, Kyoko token will, again, it's primarily used as the governance token, as well as offers bonuses to everyone who holds our Kyoko token through our sort of DAO-to-DAO credit lending and incubatory services. In terms of staking, no, we do have a limited pool there. I believe it's Lindsay, do you have the specific percentage that's allocated to our staking? Let's see here. I believe, let me get this over here. 10% of our total Kyoko tokens, and we are pre-minting 1 billion tokens. So that'll be 100 million, will be allocated to staking rewards. So no, it won't be unlimited, but there will be a very large pool for users to partake in.
Thank you so much for answering.
No problem. Great question. Keep on coming.
Can I ask my question?
Yes, yes,
Please.
please.
Okay. Has the platform been audited? What type you determine does it have?
Uh, yes. So what I heard there was, has our platform been audited? And yes, all of our code has been audited by Certec. And then we are actually in the process of going through another 1 to 2 rounds of other third-party audits, again with the sort of idea there being the majority of our development team does come from smart contract development and security background, and we really are cognizant of the fact that different security or contract auditing firms focus on different aspects, and so we want to be able to put together the sort of most comprehensive report through these different auditing agencies that will be able to just verify for us, but also for you guys, our end users, that our platform is as secure as it can be.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Can I ask another question?
Please.
Oh, is it your long-term project? If yes, what is the benefit of long-term staking token? Starts as 3 years or 5 years?
Yes. So I believe that you asked, is this a long-term project? And sorry, could you repeat the second part of your question there?
Yeah.
Yes. Could you repeat the second part of your question?
Okay. I said, what is the benefit of long-term staking token? Starts as 3 years or 5 years?
Yes, absolutely. So, of course, this is a long-term project, and the sort of solutions that we're providing here to the industry obviously are not going to be short-term. They're going to be a long-term sort of vision associated with that, and you can see that through our token economics, right? And so, for example, our team's tokens don't even begin to be sent out until 12 months after a TGE, and they become fully vested after 36 months. So we do have a very long-term vision to Kyoko. And in terms of staking, the benefits of staking long-term are simply that we've got, I won't get into the sort of technical aspect of this, but we do have a weighted reward system that does reward long-term stakers much more heavily than people who are just getting into it. And that's not saying that there isn't any opportunity in the early days or for people that just discover Kyoko a little bit further on and do want to take part in our staking pools. But it is to say that there is a sort of compound benefit that comes from staking early and continuing to keep your token staked on the platform. And if you want the specific information and formulas behind this, again, I won't bore everyone on this call with it, but you can go over to our Gitbook, which I believe Polkastarter is released, but you can also come over to any of our communities and find the link very easily there. And we have a whole section on staking that goes through those calculations there, and you'll be able to figure out exactly what the sort of benefit per time horizon is.
Yeah, I just want to jump in here. So you could just look through the stake page on our white paper. They will show that when you want to stake your tokens, you could choose different locked period from 0 to 12 months. I mean, the maximum of the term is around 1 year, and you will have different benefit with different weight, and you could look more detailed information on that page.
Okay, next question. Hi, Apollo, you may speak.
Sir, NFT space is flooded with low quality NFTs, making it hard for collector user to. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, sir. User to find the art they really want. How will you be able to give user high quality NFTs, and what will it be considered as high quality on Kyoko, and how will you determine what NFTs are worth? Thank you, sir. Please answer.
Yeah, absolutely. I can take over this, and then 𝗀𝗻cie, if you have anything extra to add, by all means, please go ahead. But again, so we sort of have two different platforms that NFTs will make an appearance within Kyoko. We have our P2P NFT lending platform, and we have our cross-chain asset lending platform. And our cross-chain asset lending platform is really specifically for GameFi assets. So these in-game assets that aren't being used that can be listed on this platform, that lowers the barrier of entry for guilds, for players, for investors to get into these new gaming ecosystems and to be able to, again, more cheaply offer support for this for their scholars. But I'm assuming that you're talking about our P2P NFT lending platform. And on this, we actually don't go ahead and, again, we do recognize that the NFT market is very, very immature. There's huge opportunity there. There's huge valuations that have been created within it, but there's still not the same sort of solutions for valuation. Within the industry yet. And that's just not really our focus. But we do want to continue to provide the support for investors and for collectors and for players to be able to list their assets, whether GameFi assets or otherwise, on this. And so we just act as a listing platform and an executing platform for these exchanges. So again, everything is sort of on the lender to go ahead and list their NFT that they want to lend out. And of course, they need to be reasonable with the offers that they make. Otherwise, no borrower will want to come over and actually accept this bid to borrow this NFT or to fund this lender. And so, alongside that, again, we're not really in the business of evaluating what's high quality or what valuation should be. All we're really trying to do is provide a platform for these lenders and borrowers to come together, to have this conversation, let them bang out all of the dirty details of this exchange, and then we come on and we offer the opportunity to take all of these details, put them into a smart contract, and issue this exchange.
Okay, next question. Sorry, guys. Hi.
Hi, hello.
Hi, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I have quite a couple of questions. Like, I'm in gaming field from past 2 years. I have seen many other NFT lending platforms as well. Tell me why one should use Kyoko Finance and what does it offer great that other competitor projects doesn't offer. List out the top two reasons for me to use your platform. You got my question, right?
Yes, I got you.
Yeah.
So I will take this. So the first reason is that what you choose us is because we provide an innovation solution for the NFT lending or cross-chain asset lending. This is also we talked in this AMA in the several last question. So we just provide a platform and the evaluation of the NFT as well as for the NFT in the GameFi. They will all set by the users. The evaluation and the price is by set for the users. So we won't set any price or any evaluation for the NFT, and we won't influenced by the NFT market price. And the default situation will only focus on the NFT itself. So that is innovation, and it's also one of the reasons why you could choose us, because we provide a much safer, with much protection than other NFT lending projects. The other reason I think is that you actually could see that we have a close, narrow relationship between our three main business. So for the DAO lending, the guilds and the DAOs, they could get resources need to grow. So once they grow up, they could have some airdrop for Kyoko token holder, and they could also use their credit scores to borrow the GameFi asset in our cross-chain asset lending platform. So that is quite narrow relationship between each other, and that means we could provide more complete ecosystems for the whole Kyoko finance. We will have a great customer base, so that when you come for Kyoko platform to involve our main business, you will get excellent user experience. So that is the second reason for that.
Okay, so both the lender and the borrower both gets rewards from using Kyoko Finance, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's great actually. And I have one more question. Like from day one till today, do you guys feel satisfied by seeing your achievements and progresses? I mean, when you look back to your day one, right? When you have started the project, how you guys are feeling right now?
Yeah, we are
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
go ahead, Lindsay.
Oh, we're quite proud of our DAO-to-DAO right now because we know that it will be first mover. It's also the innovation in the crypto world. And right now, for our DAO-to-DAO lending, we have the partnership with YGG and Merit Circle. So all the guilds on the YGG and Merit Circle will be just put on our whitelist. They do not need any evaluation or any assessment for the whitelist. They will just get the credit loans. And in the future, we will also have great partnership with many excellent guilds or GameFi or DAOs project. So yeah, go back to our question. We're very proud of it, and we will keep working on it to improve it in the future. Yeah.
So many more to come.
Yeah, and I think one more thing to add on to that is, again, we mentioned this before, but we've absolutely blown past what we had originally, anticipated our roadmap and timeline being for releasing these solutions, and it's something that is very important to us to not only meet the deadlines that we have set for ourselves, but also to exceed them and to use our accomplishments to really create a sense of trust around our brand, our platform, and everyone who's on this call, everyone who's participated in crypto, no matter how long, understands that this is still very much a trust-based community. And that's something that's extremely important to us. And again, we're trying to, and I believe succeeding in using our accomplishments to speak for themselves.
Okay, this will be the last question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Question is regarding the current market situation is too unstable to restrain investor. So can you give me some good reason why I should buy your token in the current market situation, and also why should your token holder continue to hold you?
Okay, I get you. So I could provide you with several reasons. The first one is based on the product of Kyoko. You can look through all our three main business, and you will notice that there we could development with the GameFi industry. We will also could development with the DAOs organizations itself. So if there one day if there we in the bear market, we're actually right now we are really in the bear market, but even the market is right, Kyoko still could have its excellent development because we stay with the GameFi itself. There have the great demand for the Kyoko product. There have the great demand for the guild development, great demand for the DAO organizations, and they all have the liquidations demand. So that is why Kyoko could exist for a relatively long time. And this is the first reason. It's related to the Kyoko product itself. The second reason is about Kyoko tokens. So as we said before, you can see that one special thing of Kyoko tokens is that we have the burners part. So for the Kyoko token holder, one thing they could get aside with some early investment opportunities for if they could be the money pool provider, or like the VCs, if they hold our Kyoko tokens, they could get aside with early investment. They could involve in the seed round or private round for those kind of smaller guild, great potential smaller guild or DAO organizations. And also there could be some airdrop for Kyoko token holder. So that could be burners, and it will contribute for our long time development of the Kyoko tokens. People will hold it for the benefit not only from the token itself, but also the benefit from the burners as well as some staking reward, something like that. So that will be a huge benefit and huge reward, and that is the second reason why people will hold Kyoko tokens. Yeah, and I hope these two reasons could solve your question.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback off of that. I think those are, great examples, Lindsay. I think speaking a little bit more broadly to your question, again, I don't think it's a secret here that we're not in a bear market, but we're definitely heading that way. I remember back in 2017, actually back in early 2018, when the crypto winter came on, and it was really difficult to see all of these strong projects that hadn't planned in advance for bear market, and just were doing really interesting things, but they didn't have the liquidity they needed to be able to stay alive. But thankfully, all of our team has lived through that, and we've taken the sort of experience from that to be able to plan ahead. And we have raised over $7 million through our seed, private, and strategic rounds, and we have a very strong base of investors, along with the sort of cash that we need to be able to last throughout however long this next market phase is. And then, again, piggybacking off what Lindsay said, our products are actually better suited for the bear market than they are in a bull market. Obviously, the main phrasing in the bull market goes, as the sea rises, so do all boats. So there's plenty of opportunity. But when the bear market comes, that's when liquidity needs for all of these DAOs and guilds really starts to show. So, I think your question's a good one, and my answer from a more broad basis would be, we have the money to be able to cash to be able to survive through this next market phase. We have a solution that gains more power and strength and demand through the upcoming market phase. And we also have the token economic system that allows our token holders to be able to share in our profits. I think that's how I would also, think about this question as well.
Okay, we still have time for one more question.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Sir, when Kyko's guide to guide lending will launch, and what are the criteria to get a guild loan?
Okay, so for our DAO-to-DAO lending, it's actually been launched and right now in the data stage. So I think that several days later, maybe after IDO, this business will be officially live for all the users. And also about the regulations that how the guilds could get the credit loans. That is like, first you need to apply for the whitelist, and then we, based on our evaluation systems, we will evaluate the guild itself to figure out whether it's potential or not. And then based on the evaluation situation, we will give you the decision whether we could put you on the whitelist. And once you put on the whitelist, you could get started with credit loans. If you want more money, a higher amount of money, you could also apply for the collateralized loans. So, like, for example, you could collateralize some 𝗵𝗫20 tokens or Kyoko tokens for a higher amount of money.
Okay, Lindsay and Steve, thank you for your time and for the illuminating answers on Kyoko. We are really looking forward to see what you bring to the community and to welcome you to the Polkastarter family and continue to working together in the future. Steve and Lindsay will select the 3 winners for the whitelist spots, and the Polkastarter team will contact you directly through direct message. Steve and Lindsay, do you want to add anything else?
Oh yeah, no. Thank you for Polkastarter community, and thank you for all of you's excellent question. Thank you for your time to listen our introduction about Kyoko.
Yeah, we're super excited to be part of the Polka family now, and obviously with that, we're really excited to work together to bring Kyoko to all of the listeners on this and the broader Polkastarter community. So really appreciate it. Really a big thank you as well over to our host here for helping put together this great event and moderate it. One last thing. Please, everyone, if you want to learn more about Kyoko, you can follow us on Twitter at Kyoko Finance, or you can, and then from there, you can find our official links to enter our Discord and Telegram. One note, we have noticed that as we've been announcing and putting together events for our Polkastarter IDO, there have been some fake groups and some spammers that have been trying to take advantage of this. So just keep that in mind and make sure to go through official channels to enter any of our community. So again, really appreciate everyone joining on this and listening to everything we have to say, and we're excited to see you at the IDO.
Yeah, thanks for everyone for tuning in, and this is the end of this Twitter Spaces. I believe we will have another AMA with Kyoko on Telegram tomorrow. So thank you everyone for joining us, and see you next time. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.